What's going on, everybody?
What is
Welcome to the 42nd episode of Predator News Now.
42nd? We're almost to 50.
Almost. What are we gonna do for the big 5-0?
That's a big. That's crazy. 50.
That's crazy.
We're gonna have to plan something.
We're gonna throw a huge party.
This week was a big week. We welcomed our niece into the world.
Yes.
Well, I guess we didn't, but Cup's sister did. And it was a crazy week in this community. So
It was, and right now for the year we're at 228 live catches and 36 for last week.
it's absolutely insane.
Had some big fish caught too. I know you guys have heard and seen.
Huge.
And we'll get into all of that.
Of course.
But first, there was a story that was making the rounds on social media. And it was about, what was it? It was the teacher.
Yeah, I know a lot of people saw it on Discord. It's a really disturbing story.
It is, and surprisingly, it's from a couple years ago, but I think they're going to trial now. And we do have a little clip here we can play. It's disgusting.
Case for sure. This all started in December of 2019 when these two individuals, a deputy in Livingston Parish and his teacher wife, who was a middle school teacher, got caught by Adobe. They were photoshopping things. Adobe turned them into authorities in Louisiana, which launched an investigation.
What?
Authorities with the Attorney General's office showed up at the couple's house. They found this safe full of hard drives, computers, thumb drives, things like that. And all of it was encrypted with a software called Keep My Data Safe. And so essentially they had to come in and decode everything. And when they decoded everything, they were alarmed at what they saw. They saw child porn. They saw child rape. They also saw what appeared to be this deputy who was ejaculating on sweets that were then being served to his wife's class.
My.
Like, what?
There's just so many different levels of fuckery in this. First off, you have a teacher.
Right.
And then you have her married to her law enforcement husband.
Right.
And together they're just causing hell.
It's absolutely disgusting.
It's absolutely disgusting.
But
No, that was the other thing. Is that, did you guys hear how they were caught? That's the even crazier thing.
yeah, so apparently they were using Photoshop, and if you don't know what that is, it's a program where you can edit photos. But recently Adobe's moved to like this cloud service, so instead of buying a disc, you use it all on the cloud now. And I guess they saw some alarming things that made them tip off the law enforcement in the area and be like, hey, you might want to go check on these people. And when they did, they found everything in the house. And I would love to know what the hell these people were photoshopping.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, like, if you use Photoshop, you know, like, you're doing your little edits or whatnot, but, like, to have Adobe tip off that you're editing some sketchy-ass shit.
Right, that's absolutely crazy. It's when I heard that Adobe is the one that figured this out, I was like, what? Right.
So they're on trial right now. And I'm sure during the trial, we'll discover what they were photoshopping. I'm really interested to see like what they could have been doing on there. And then, serving those cupcakes to...
they served cupcakes that had her husband's semen, right?
Right.
I mean...
That's honestly,
oh my God. It's really kind of unfathomable.
It's gross. It's disgusting. And... you know, we see teachers and cops all the time being busted, and we actually had a few this week that we'll go into, but
it's just crazy because, you know, when you drop your kids off at school and you hear what your kids' teachers are like, they probably look like the all-American
right. They look
family.
like exactly.
My wife is a teacher, I'm law enforcement, and together they just make this beautiful looking couple. Right. And
to be doing some stuff like this,
and they're using keep my private
data safe.
Keep my data safe. Well, luckily it was not safe.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely follow up on this, but absolutely crazy.
Yeah, let us know. What do you guys think they were photoshopping? That's what I'm really curious about. Like, that's just
because let's be
insane.
real, people Photoshop crazy stuff
Right.
on there, and you don't hear. This is honestly the first Photoshop or Adobe bust, I guess I've ever heard of.
First one I've heard of for sure.
So it must have been real bad.
Anyways, first up in the news though, we got MUSA. He hit 300.
Yes.
Can you guys believe that?
Let's get a round of applause.
Let's get a round of applause. We got this cool graphic here, courtesy of Pickle Periodicals. If you're not following them on Instagram, please do.
If you're not following them, seriously, get your phones out right after this episode. I would say now, but you need to stay here. But right after this episode, go follow. She has the best graphics and she keeps everyone up to date. Such an incredible woman. So please, we will drop it in the description. Go follow.
Yeah, and she was actually on What's Your Story with Chris LaRoche, if you want to check that out as well.
Yes, and it was one of my favorite interviews. Like, her story is just so crazy and inspirational, and she's actually from this area, so I love her even more for that.
Next up, we got a little collab going on right now. It's Web Pred Patrol and PCPA. Shafiq. They're doing some work up there, and I think they're in New York right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They just had a guy arrested, so shout out to them. Make sure you're subbed to both of them.
I know.
Because I'm sure they'll have a catch later.
Yes. They were having a little bit of internet connection issues on a couple of their earlier catches.
They were.
But I think that has been solved because they've had a bunch of really good catches that have been clear. So
let's hope so.
Definitely have your notifications on.
It was glitching.
It was. One of them was teleporting. Within 30 seconds, we were in the living room. Then we were in the car.
What's weird is when I was just watching the web one, it was showing, Cameron was like, I'm going to go make a phone call or something, right? And then it was showing Shafiq recording and talking to the pred, but then the audio cut out and it was still showing him with the pred, but then it was doing audio of Cameron getting into a car.
Right.
And I was like, what is going on here?
Let me piece this
together. I thought I had a tab open or something.
Yeah,
nope, just the web's internet.
Just T-Mobile for you. But nonetheless, they've been killing it, so go check it out.
Yes. Next up, we got TCOY. She had a pretty busy weekend.
Yes, she did.
She had the Cheeto Pred that was caught. Big Black Stepdaddy was also caught. The Horse Whisperer bailed on him. Mm-hmm. But she has the Edgy Pred and Harry Potter Pred Monday and Tuesday being caught, and I think that's going to be by PP Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And then she also has one for Panda, but it's a little far away from where he's at, so hopefully that can get situated, and Panda can make his way over to that guy. But I think you said that TCOY is going to be catching the psychiatrist, right?
Yes, that's personally the catch that I think I've been waiting for the longest, and I've gotten the most invested into.
Right.
I think she's on her 9th call with him, and
Crazy.
He is just a weirdo. His walls are just tumbling down. He has so much trust in her. So that should be coming next month. And next month is my birthday, so that's the perfect gift to me. Yes.
And then also congratulations on hitting 7,500 subs. Pretty dope.
Very well deserved.
And then some big news. As you guys know, PCI and PCM caught the Facebook exec. You guys. So my thing is like, and I want to ask them, I think we're going to try to get them on tomorrow for a little interview. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when you're setting up these kind of, and you're not setting them up, but when you're talking to these guys, you don't really know who you're talking to, right? For the most part. Like sometimes you'll figure out beforehand.
Right.
But, you know, I've always liked growing up to go to like the tide pools because I like to look for like little creatures and like, you know, just find something. You're like, oh my God, there's an octopus. And in a sense, that's kind of how I feel with like pred catching, because you really don't know.
No, this is like walking down to the tadpole and seeing like a rare octopus that has never been spotted.
Right, like a new species.
Like a leopard octopus. Is that a thing?
It might be.
It might be.
But anyways, so yeah, it's one of those things. I'm curious what you guys think, but that's kind of my take on it, is that it's that's kind of one layer of why it's intriguing to me. Because like you just never know. And here's a perfect case where they got this guy who was a Facebook exec. He was the head of I think it was the Department of Global Community, something like that. And this article here from Futurism says, in the light of companies' struggle to moderate its own platform, this is a bad look. And we keep seeing, we keep hearing like Meta be brought up with the whole VR thing and people being virtually raped and this and that.
Absolutely.
And then you got someone that works for the company going to meet up with a kid.
And the story just gets deeper and deeper. So we're going to be covering that a little bit later. As far as the actual catch, but you know, it's crazy because yes, although this was a huge catch, it's like PVP or EDP, all those really big catches, but this guy is just as bad as your average Joe that lives at home with his mom and is talking to 7-year-olds.
Right. Well, my thing is if he's working at Facebook, he must have some more intimate knowledge of how the platform might work. He thinks he can skirt around the security or the privacy, or who knows.
Well, that was the craziest thing, is that he was actually using Facebook Messenger to do that.
That's crazy.
It's like, you know, with my work laptop, if I was getting on YouTube or getting on our Discord and doing Discord work on my work laptop, I feel like I would probably get in a lot of trouble. So I've never done that.
I'd report you.
I know you would. But that's like essentially the same thing. This guy is working for Facebook and getting children off of the platform that he works for.
And this was making some waves, and it was crazy enough that it was on Fox News. And I don't want to get political with it. For me, it's more of like an exposure thing, because this was on a national television channel. I mean, this is reaching millions of people, right? More people than any YouTube channel could probably reach with this type of content. And they actually credited them, and we'll play the clip here.
A high-level Facebook employee has allegedly been busted in a child sexting operation. Chief breaking news correspondent Trace Gallagher has the details. What's going on here, Trace?
His face.
Just the alleged pedophile is identified as 35-year-old Jaron Miles. He was the manager of community development at Meta. Meta is the parent company of Facebook. I say was because he has obviously been fired. The man was confronted and filmed by an anti-pedophile group in Indiana. And on video, he admits that he was involved in a highly sexually explicit text conversation with a 13-year-old boy. Here's part of it. Watch.
You said, make out with you, touch you, suck you. Is that what you said?
I did.
You said that to a 13-year-old boy?
I did.
Miles went on to say that while he was fully engaging a 13-year-old boy in a sexual conversation, even acknowledging that he gave the boy the address and room number to his hotel where he was staying, he claims he never actually intended to meet up with the child.
Right.
You gave the hotel and the hotel room.
Right.
So you set the meets. So you're okay with talking sexual online as long as you don't meet the children?
This is the one time I've done this.
The only time. Okay, so you are okay to talk sexual to 13-year-old Corey because you knew in your head that you would not meet up with him.
That was my rationale.
Jaron Miles' former employer Meta says they have fired him and are actively investigating the situation. The anti-pedophile group says they are now sending all the video and logs to police. So far, Jesse, no word if he has or will be prosecuted. We'll let you know.
All right, thanks, Trace. That was a good sting.
That was a good sting.
And you know what? I thought that was a great news segment. I really did. They did not say vigilantes.
They said anti-ped group.
And I did see a comment of someone saying, well, shame on them that they said, what did they say? Instead of saying their names, they said
anti-ped group.
But it's like, you know, they did give credit there. I think it could have been a lot worse.
No, well, we were saying that if you were to if the host or the reporter said it was caught by Predator Catchers Indianapolis, people that aren't familiar with this might be like, huh?
Right.
What is that?
Right.
So them saying anti-ped group, it kind of
opens up the topic of, well, what is that? And then they see, oh, okay, here's their YouTube. And my favorite part of the entire interview, or not interview, but segment, was at the very end when he said that was a great bust.
Great sting.
Or great sting. So, yeah, I'm really happy that they did that. And I'm interested to see what Shonda, Brooklyn, Eric, what their take on it was, if they really liked it. So, again, we are going to be having that. We were going to do it today, but
they're just getting flooded with interviews. And
so we're really grateful that they would even take the time with us. They're doing like radio stations and stuff. So, shout out to them.
Yeah,
we'll definitely look out for that.
Yeah, that's just a crazy catch.
And so we'll talk about it a little bit later.
And then next up, some interesting news. EDP, who was caught last year by Alex and CC Unit, he kind of disappeared. His YouTube disappeared, terminated, and then his social medias were silent. No one had heard from him. Well, over Super Bowl, he popped up, and he's back, and he's on TikTok. And people aren't really, a lot of people don't really know the situation, it seems like, with EDP on TikTok.
So this is what I heard. So he actually has been trying very, very, very hard to get back on these different platforms. I believe he made a Live Me within 24 hours, terminated. He made a Twitch within 24 hours, terminated. So bad that he actually was like, okay, I'm just going to start doing Grubhub or like one of those food delivery services. And it was only, or maybe it was Uber, and it was until like a couple rides in that someone recognized him, called corporate, and then that job was taken away.
So you can't do anything.
He has really been trying, and finally he made it to TikTok, and somehow, this was about 4 or 5 days ago that this came out, and somehow he is still on there, which does not surprise me because TikTok has no care in the world for minors, children. They literally let 7-year-olds dance in booty shorts to skimpy ass dances.
It's not a good platform for him to be on.
It is the worst platform for this guy to be on.
Yeah, and this is his little video that he dropped.
So the Rams damn near blew the fucking game.
Okay, so I guess the reason this is kind of the big news is that the account was there, but there was nothing on there, and people thought, oh, maybe it could be him, maybe it couldn't be him.
Right.
And then he released that, which kind of confirmed it was his account.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out why the hell he's not sitting in prison right now. But I guess that's a different conversation for a different day. But no matter what, I did see a lot of comments on some of his videos of people saying, oh, you know, what happened was in the past and people need to get over it. But there was also a lot of comments saying, you're a fucking pedophile, get off this site. So I don't think that it'll stay up long.
Well, he has almost 200,000 followers.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see.
Speaking of TikTok, while we're here, if you are on TikTok, go follow PP Mass. I guess there was some issues with someone else uploading his content and getting all these followers and subs. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to go on here and make my own account.
Yes.
So go follow him. I think it's PP Mass J on TikTok.
Yeah. If you're a catcher, TikTok is a great place to get your content out and reach a lot of people.
I heard they're shutting them down, though.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Creep Hunters Texas was having issues with that.
But if you can get even 10 new subscribers, you know,
sure.
Hell with it.
And then next up, I know you guys might have seen Florida PEDCHASER got the DHS agent, got number 1 on our top 5. But he had a live catch today that was looking pretty grim for a little while.
It, I mean, still is grim. I mean, it was awful. Do we have a clip? Or are you going to kind of explain?
Well, yeah, so he met up with the guy, called the police. Police come out, and the police just start treating him like he's a criminal.
Immediately.
I
mean, the cop walked up, and you could tell that he wanted to start some shit.
Right.
And so FPC says, hey, I just want to let you know, this guy, this is what he came here to do. This is what he said, the text messages. And if I were you, I would look on his device to see if he has CP.
Right.
Because he said some questionable things to me that make me believe that he may have CP on his phone. And that was the moment that the cop had just been kind of waiting for. He wanted to twist his words. And immediately he acted as if he had just
murdered someone.
Walked upon a murder. He immediately detained both of the PRED.
Yeah, he said, you're all detained. I'll play this clip here.
Play the clip.
Hey, you can't go in your vehicle right now.
He's gonna get a cigarette real quick, no?
No, I don't know what's in there.
No.
Like I said, everybody's detained right now. So,
am I being arrested?
You're detained. This is currently an active, sex offense investigation.
I understand, but am I being arrested or something?
Not right now.
Oh.
You're detained. So, if any of your equipment could have potentially captured something that we need, we're going to be seizing it from you. That's why everyone's detained.
All I had caught was his face the whole time.
Okay. But, like I said earlier.
Yeah, you can just tell from the demeanor of this cop, he's like not really.
Right. And so is what the cop was trying to paint the picture of is that FPC had either received CP from this PRED and then he was in possession. So he was like, oh, this guy now has child porn. Or he was trying to say that when he was recording the initial interaction when he first got there, that the PRED had shown him CP and then he recorded it.
Right, and distributed it or something.
And the entire time, he's like, no, you're totally misinterpreting. I just go watch it. But out of everything, I just want to say how wowed I was by how calm Vince stayed.
Yeah.
I mean, he did so incredible. I feel like the cop almost wanted him to get aggravated and kind of be an asshole so he could have reason to detain him.
Yeah.
I mean, put him in cuffs or put him in the car. But he just stayed so calm. And I mean, he did more than I would have. There was a point when he said, turn off your devices, put that on mute. And he did that,
Right.
And I feel like I may have kept it rolling just for my protection. It just seemed like it was going to go south. It seemed like a MUSA 2.0 situation. But we are very happy to announce that he did make it home. He was not put into jail. They did get a warrant for his devices, so they did take those, but he's home, so that's good.
He's back, and I did want to congratulate him. He hit 1,000 subs during this catch, so shout out to you on that.
Congratulations.
So yeah, I also wanted to shout out Mass Accountability. They're a cop watch group out in Massachusetts, and they hopped in chat. I think they were tipped off by maybe FTK, and so they came in chat, and then they started to mirror on their channel this catch too, this interaction with the police. So I thought that was super dope.
But is what Cup and I were kind of saying and speculating was, if you guys remember the Homeland Security catch.
It happened in the same neighborhood.
It happened in not only the same area, but the predator that was from that catch, his son, which also was in the video, was a cop.
Trooper or something.
We don't know. Word spreads around in these small areas. And so we don't know if the law enforcement family that was caught as a predator, went and spread this around hey, this is who this guy is.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it's weird that 3 weeks ago they were giving him an honorary badge as a token of appreciation. And today they were treating him like a felon.
It was a different department that he got the badge from, but nonetheless.
I mean, that badge shows that what he does and the steps that he takes to get there is on point and admirable. So I just feel like there was no reason that this should have played out like this.
Yeah, that cop was pissing me off.
They were treating the predator better.
They didn't even talk to the predator.
Yeah.
He's just sitting over there for the whole time.
Yeah, no, he was totally just doing his own thing.
And also, the cop said something like, you know, one of your friends had called up to the station and complaining that you're being detained, and everyone was, you know, don't call the police. Well, I agree. It probably wasn't the right time to call. However, it is our right. It's not illegal to call the police and say, hey, my friend's being illegally detained, or, you know, I'm not saying it wasn't, you know, the right time or whatnot, but it's, if you're live streaming, expect someone to call on your behalf.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that you have to worry about them taking out their anger for a bunch of calls on him, which is more than likely going to happen. But if you're calling the non-emergency line and you're just trying to touch bases or say, hey, can you get a sergeant down there? You know, it seems like the stuff is getting a little out of hand. It should not come back within 2 minutes and say, oh, your buddy, you know,
that's exactly it. It's like,
weird.
How would the cop know that they called the station? Why would the dispatcher be like, oh, by the way, officer, someone just called in asking for someone to come down, or whatever the case may be. Right. And I just thought that was a little strange.
Very strange.
But anyways.
Yeah, Vince, we're happy you're home and you handled it so flawlessly. I would have been in cuffs, like already sitting down in the cell with my attitude that I probably would have had with this guy. So you did 10 out of 10.
Yes. And then a quick update on the DHS agent. He did meet with the supervisor of the DHS, and they're passing it up the chain of command. And it turns out that Vince will be also joining PPMAS and PCI when they do the Florida trip.
Nice.
So that'll be dope.
That's going to be a great
It's nice to have a local so Vince can show him around.
Absolutely.
Next up, we got another Homeland Security employee that was caught by PANDA. I think we're going to go into this a little more later.
Yes, we are.
But I wanted to just kind of point this out, that this guy here, he's one of the highest paid Homeland Security officers. I think Panda said he made like $150,000 a year. He was in a nice BMW in a nice area. But it just goes to show, like, you know, these
literally anybody could be, you know, and that's why you have, I mean, I don't want to get political, but you have a lot of really, really dirty birds that are way, 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 way up, and it all just gets silenced because of who they are, what kind of money they have, but if you come into this community and you get caught by somebody, one of these catchers, it's not going to be, oh, here's $1,000 under the table. They may try, but you're going to get blasted.
Yeah, so this guy was an ICE agent, but yeah, we'll go into this a little bit later, but shout out to Panda on this one.
A lot of high profile catches.
Yeah, speaking of, PvP had his 125th catch, and he got this guy, Corey, who's a 35-year-old man in the Navy, came to meet a 14-year-old.
It's so crazy. Another thing is, like, you know, we have our careers and everything, and it's like you work so hard to work your way up and just to throw it all away.
Right.
Throw it all away.
And I wanted to shout out Moms Against Predators on IG. They do a good job posting all of the arrests that happen, or, you know, the catches actually. So go follow them at Moms Against Predators. Next catch that was kind of big was with Webb, and this was a ex-Department of Corrections officer. However, the video doesn't show the actual catch because the cops were kind of already involved at this point, and he's coordinating with them on the phone during this driving while he's following the guy. And they end up pulling him over, and he gets arrested. But this is the pred in the car here. And he came to meet the kid, but he left, and Cameron followed him.
And then what? I actually missed this one. So he called up the officer and was like, hey, this is the red car. Yep. And they pulled up behind him.
Yep.
Wow.
And they got him.
I mean, me selfishly, I'm like, oh, I want to see the catch and the confrontation. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that these guys are getting put away. So
yeah,
great job, Cameron.
Yep. And then the last high profile case we got here, this is coming from Regional Deviant Watch, and this was the vice principal. And we had talked about this on our last episode, but the video wasn't out yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
Or it had just come out. But yeah, we'll play a little clip here.
No, I'm going home.
Oh, do you actually live here?
Yeah.
Are you sure? What's your name, David?
Yeah, David.
You don't live here, David.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go on in.
It looks like he's shit in his pants.
No. Let's have a chat. Or I can get the cops involved because I know who you're here to meet.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, just answer some questions. Seriously, all you gotta do is answer some questions. Julian,
don't slip.
Just answer some questions. Okay? Answer questions.
Just calm down. We're not here to hurt you.
Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Man.
To jail if you just take off.
He knows his life is over.
Yeah, and this guy was actually on his LinkedIn. It was showing he was an ex-special ed teacher and also a current like vice principal of a school. And the school has been notified. We're not entirely sure right now if he's been let go or if he's been fired. But they're taking it very serious. The superintendent did say they were looking into it and they're going to start like their own internal investigation into this guy.
Good.
So we'll follow up on that. But
Yeah.
shout out to Regional on this one.
I'm so jealous of the snow that they get.
I know.
Today is like the first day that it's been semi-cloudy here, and we're like loving it.
Yeah.
But it has been so hot here, so that looks beautiful there.
In some sad news, Skeeter was trespassed from the Myers during a catch. And there was a little conversation going in our Discord over this. Some people were mad at the store for doing this.
Me.
And some people were, saying, hey, it's in their right to ban you.
Yeah.
And it's not like the store is protecting the pred. They just are protecting the store.
Well, that's what I think is so cool about our Discord. Like, I'm not trying to promote it right now, but we are so, like, you can never state your opinion and then have people bash you for it or be like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
I straight up was like, at first I was like, I feel like there's, pedo sympathizers. And then somebody, stepped in and they were like, well, I think that they're just trying to maybe protect their business and they don't want their other customers. And then it made me kind of think, when I used to work at Starbucks when I was 16, I could see me doing that, being like, hey, like, I don't want this to be a bad look for our business and, the company. I don't want our other customers to feel uncomfortable. So I get it, but I just wish that they would pull Skeeter to the side and say, hey, can you maybe not do this in here next time? Or, take it to the back alley or I don't know. I just think it's shitty that he can't shop there anymore,
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of other stores to shop out, so who cares?
I don't know Myers. We don't have that out here, but I think it's like a big like grocery store chain. I see them.
Rayleigh's.
Yeah, I see them all the time in like videos, catches. But yeah, I guess when you're trespassed, you're kind of trespassed from every Myers. But the thing is like if you were to go to a different one, I highly doubt they'd know, hey, that guy.
Right,
but then again, he's kind of like known probably in the area. So,
but you know what? Look at that face. He looks like he's taking it like a grain of salt.
He's doing what is it? The online groceries now.
Yeah, he's like me
to the door.
Guys, I haven't been to a grocery store in like a year.
Seriously, we're starving.
Shut up.
No, but that sucks. But it is what it is.
I hope that they trespass the pred too.
Let's hope.
That's why I was like, they're pedo sympathizers, because why are they banning, the catcher and not the predator?
That makes no sense. Shout out to Skeeter, though. Next up, some updates from New York Creep Spotlight. FN's been putting in that work, and he's also been getting really like good arrests lately, I've noticed.
Yes, he has.
Like every time the cops come, like they know what's up, and they just, hey, turn around. Arrest.
Yeah, and
Jail.
He's gotten it down because 95% of his catches that get arrests, you look at the charges and they're the same two charges.
Well, yeah, let's check it out here. We got the first one was Ramon. He was exposed last weekend, and his charges are attempted attempted criminal sex act and attempted indecent material to minors.
Okay.
And then we got our second one. This is, let's see here. What's this guy's name? Andrew, yep. And the charges are attempted criminal sex, attempted sexual abuse in the third degree. So, yeah, I mean, they're pretty
it's almost
similar
like
across the board.
Yeah, he has, like, the perfect system down.
Setup.
Like we say, he has the right system that if someone is bad and disgusting and needs to be locked up, if they follow the steps that he puts down, then he knows he can get an arrest.
So shout out to FM holding down NY.
Absolutely.
And then in our Discord, if you are interested in like the tech side of things, we created a channel for people who are interested in tech. And we've been floating around some ideas and coming up with some cool things for the community, trying to see how we can make this a better community. And we've developed, with the help of some people in the server, a backup storage for channels. So really quick, I wanted to play this. If you're not familiar with how to get into the tech channel because it is hidden, we have a little video here. Basically, you're going to go to our page. You're going to swipe to the right, and you're going to scroll down till you see Get Roles. Once you hit Get Roles, you'll see a whole bunch of roles you can get, and then you'll see, do you want to be in help with technical support? If you add a little button, the globe right there, it'll give you access to the tech support channel. So if you scroll down, you'll notice it pops up on the screen now, and then you'll have access to get in there where we're talking about all the tech stuff. And JDR 1985 and Rainscut have been coming up with some really, really good ideas. One of them is going to be the storage idea. And what that is if you have a channel, and as you know, a lot of the videos are getting copyright strikes and all that, privacy strikes.
Or the channels are just getting removed.
Right, exactly. What we can do is we can go to your channel and basically download and back up all of your videos. Every
single video. And it's not like, well, I'll let you explain because I am not on really the tech team.
So let me load this up, see if I can get in here.
We're going to need to get our password.
I know.
Really quick, I do want to say also last week we showed a website, PREDS Exposed, and it basically will show you whenever there's a live catch going on. It has every single catcher, every single channel. It's kind of like IP2 where you can see every single live. So that was developed by someone that's in that group, and they're just coming up with really cool ideas. It's always good to have a backup, and generally downloading every video takes hours, a lot of storage, a lot of time. And so they're willing to take that on.
So basically, if you give us permission, because we don't want to do it without your permission, we don't want to download your videos. If you do give permission, we will give you a login, so you'll be able to log in, just as I did, and you'll see Predator News Now. So if I click on this, it'll show you all of the videos that we have, PNN episodes. Bam.
Which is just so dope because sometimes you get a privacy complaint, say, and if you don't respond to it quick enough, they delete the video. If you don't have it backed up somewhere, you're shit out of luck.
Exactly.
So this is just really cool to have a library of all of your content. Nobody else can access it.
Exactly.
And I mean, we don't really even want to access it. We want it just for you, and your login is for you.
Yeah, and you can basically select any of the videos you want, and you'll be able to download them directly to your computer there. We did create a form if you were interested in doing this, and this is just to give us permission to download everything. And it does, say in here that this is strictly for like backup purposes, and that it's not giving permission for us to release or publicate anything, any of your videos. So if you're interested, shoot me a message and we will get you over the form, and we will start downloading and backing up all of your content.
I think it's absolutely incredible.
And this is just kind of the start, because we've been also playing around with some other ideas, and I don't want to go too far into that yet.
It's crazy though.
But we have some really good people on the team that are just coming up with some great ideas that I think will push this community further.
Absolutely. Further and not as censored. That's the word that I'm looking for. So really big things coming. All shout out to everyone that is in that group. I just sit back and I see everything that's kind of coming about, and I'm just absolutely blown away. So definitely shout out to like everyone you said, Rain Scott
and JDR.
And JDR. And again, like PCI, PCM, they said that, you know, they're having a lot of their videos removed. So they asked if a few people could maybe download just to back up. So this is just a nice centralized place that you don't have to worry about 9 people having 3 of your videos, another person having 4 of your videos.
Well, that's why we started this, is because PCM and PCI, after, you know, the Facebook catch, they were kind of worried that maybe their channels will get shut down, striked. And speaking of strike, PCI received a strike, so that's why he isn't live recently. But regardless, we downloaded the PCM videos in case they needed them. And then we're like, okay, well, why don't we download more? All of them, and just in case. You know, look at Justin Payne.
Right.
So anyways, if you're interested, just let me know in Discord, and we'll back your channel up. Next up, PNN did create a Facebook page, and it's been sitting there since the beginning of February. We just hadn't really jumped in there.
Oh, man. Yeah, I actually, like, he had told me, hey, I think we're going to create a Facebook. And I kind of completely forgot until someone was nice enough to share it in Discord, on someone's Discord. And I was like, what are we getting these notifications for? And I was like, oh, my God. So,
and we didn't have really anything on there.
It was embarrassing. It probably looked like a fake account because it was so sad. So last night we did a couple things. We got it a little up to par. So we're going to start putting a lot more up there. So if you're on Facebook, definitely add us. We'll link it below. And
yeah, come join us.
Maybe we'll do like a live on there where we like show our face or something.
Ooh. Spicy. So that's pretty cool. And what also is cool is Justin Payne got his account back.
Yes.
Thank you. That was kind of
what is
sad.
up with that sound?
That's my cop sound. That's my siren. But I think this is just part of some of the videos that are missing. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, because they went through and deleted every video. That's another thing that you have to worry about. Someone hacking your channel and deleting your content. And
so fucked.
You know, maybe you think, oh, it's backed up, or maybe you lose your terabyte plug-in USB. I don't know. So I am so happy for Justin that he recovered his channel. YouTube recovered his channel. And yeah, we're happy for him.
And also, I just want to say that he commented on our last video. So shout out to Justin. He said, thank you for speaking of what happened to him, essentially. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So shout out, Justin.
Shout out to Justin. Next up, E.Y.L.P dropped this video, and we were supposed to cover it last week, but we kind of skipped over it. However, I do want to bring you guys over to it to take a look. It was really well produced, I'd say.
Really well.
It was like a little mini documentary, like a Vice documentary.
It was, yeah.
But this is basically about why the sex crimes in New Mexico are only misdemeanors. And I'll play a little clip because I think Southwest is dealing with this as well out there.
Here in our fracturing America, out of the 50 of our states, 35 of them have found the time to make statutory laws outlining that the solicitation of a minor is to be considered a felony. Some states, like Nevada, seem to have well thought out and clear laws that deal specifically with the cyber aspect of this crime. Others, like Wyoming, while not as complex and detailed, still leave just enough rope. 12 states have not yet felt the need to pass any statutory laws. The crime of child solicitation, however, in these states is still an indictable and arrestable offense. They simply defer to the discretion of the judges, looking at the totality of the circumstances to pass down sentencing. Even these states' own recommendations don't play too many games. In some states like Louisiana, they will technically lock your ass up for more than 10 years, including hard labor. Yep. And in Kentucky, they say that they will charge you for every day a person knowingly communicates with who they believe to be a minor.
I like that one.
I like that one a lot.
You want to talk for a year?
Right. Get your ass locked up for a year.
Yep. Day for day.
Yep. I definitely like that.
But I'll leave that there just so you guys can go over and finish it on his page.
I think it's so refreshing that he's doing this, because we see a lot of catchers that their full-time job is catching. They don't have a lot of time to step back, and E.Y.L.P was on a break for a minute and everyone was like, where the heck is he? it's just really cool to see that he was working on this project and he's really interested in getting these laws changed.
Yeah.
And he's looking into all of these other states to be like, okay, well, what are their laws and
what are they doing?
What are they doing to get those laws approved? So incredible. Go watch it.
Yeah, and I don't want to give it away yet, but we do have a couple people in our Discord that are really good at kind of doing the legislature thing, and soon enough they will be freeing their schedule to kind of help with this, and I think that's needed. If we can get like a template drawn out that, you know, catchers can send out to their state legislature to get some of these laws changed, I think that's needed at this point.
Yes. And it's important to say that, like, these are not just PNN, you know, supporters. These are people that are just really heavy into the movement that have all different backgrounds. Some high-up techs, lawyers, and they've all joined together to be like, okay, what can we do to make this not just a live catch and a premiere, but what can we do to get this shit out there and change it for the better? So
yeah, exactly.
Even if you're not interested in partaking in it, but you just want to see, you know, it transfold. Is that a word?
Transfold? I don't...
Transfold.
Unfold.
Transform.
Then
hop in our Discord.
There you go, a new word. Next up, ENDPRED. He's been hit with a couple privacy complaints lately, and it's shitty.
Yeah,
but
we actually were hit with a privacy complaint for one of his PREDS.
That was shown on we showed the thumbnail of the second guy here that has his face blurred, literally for like a minute, and they hit us with the privacy complaint.
That guy was searching his name.
Oh,
he was searching. I mean, the fact that he found our small channel and saw his face in
He's looking on every
channel.
But it's part of the game, and, you know, if you don't do something about the privacy complaint, they will remove your video from YouTube and it'll just be gone. And if you don't have a backup, you're kind of screwed. So going back to the backup service, definitely, you know, back up your stuff. Because if you don't have a backup of your videos, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You know, and I've seen channels where that happens. Something gets removed and they don't have like the actual copy they uploaded for whatever reason, and that content is gone.
I mean, yeah, it's
that exposure
history.
is gone.
It's literally history, a part of history gone.
Little small piece of history.
Okay.
Next up, Rumble. Speaking of different platforms, Predator Poachers moved over there, and they have 279 subscribers, which for Rumble, that's pretty big.
For Rumble, that's like a mill.
I know, right? So we also have a Rumble. We don't really use it too often. I'm not going to lie. I don't use it to look for videos. But it is good to have as a backup.
Yeah, we made it when we first made this channel because we know that YouTube is super censored,
super strict.
But we're hearing a little bit that Rumble
is
may
also
kind of be like that too. So we're, you know, we don't know everything, so we're listening to what a lot of other people say. So BitChute is one. We're really trying to find a website that won't take it down, and hopefully someday soon, there will be one where your shit will not be removed.
Exactly. And speaking of BitChute, I was looking on their website, and it has something for YouTube creators to where you can automatically send all new videos directly to BitChute simply by adding your YouTube channel ID in BitChute. So I thought that was pretty cool. So you really don't have to do much to get your videos over here. And I heard that BitChute's a lot better. But we'll link this below. Hold on, my throat.
You got a little mouse or something in your throat? Frog in your throat?
It's this vape.
Oh, don't vape.
I know.
No, I'm kidding. I vape more than you. Better than cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, shout out to BitChute. We'll have to look more into that. Next up, Southwest NVCAP had his first catch.
Yes. Well, technically, I think it was maybe his second or third catch.
First catch where the guy came and he confronted him.
But it was, we're definitely looking out for the GoPro, which he did say it's being edited.
He said it's crisp, 4K.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm super happy for him. The catch, unfortunately, it was all about 2 minutes before he got in his car. And they were inside a Walmart. Here, go ahead and play that.
Yeah.
Connor, what's up, dude? Nick.
Oh, Nick.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Guess what?
What?
Who you here to meet, man?
Yeah.
Got it.
Me, right?
This is how YouTube wants you to censor.
Right.
To
You know
keep
how
your
it is on the
things
chat
safe.
logs.
No, it's okay.
Excuse me, sir.
It's already blurred. No
Right.
privacy
No
complaints
privacy
here.
complaint there.
Hey, where you think you're going, Preda? Hey,
Preda?
Mr. Pred. Come on now, dude.
Mr. Pred.
Connor, come on.
Come on.
Come on, Connor.
Let's get your license.
So he ran off.
Yeah, he ran off.
Nonetheless, congrats on your first catch.
Yes. And I really like the Preda.
Preda.
It's kind of like meta.
Facebook meta.
Facebook meta. Preda.
Facebook Preda.
Beta. Anyways, great job.
And then the last thing here is a little picture we saw on DAP's Instagram, and it says he's can't wait to show you what is on this paper. And as you might know, him and Jay are in LA right now.
Yeah, they touched down.
But I'm curious, what is on this paper? What do you guys think it is?
It looks like
contract?
a record label.
I know. Are they gonna drop a mixtape? We told him he needed to. Maybe he's trying to get that done.
They're with
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. I don't know. They're in a very nice. That's like one of the nicest hotels.
Oh, it's the nicest one.
It is the nicest.
And I think they're at the top floor.
They are, and they're at a fancy desk. So big things coming. Definitely drop a comment in our actual video once you watch this.
What do you guys think it is?
Because the live chat, I know you guys always say what you think, but it'd be cool to come back on this once we know and be like, oh, who guessed it right? So tell us what you think he is signing a contract to. I'm going to say a record label deal.
Josh's face, he's like, damn. He's looking at this like, damn, I can't wait to show the people.
The golden freaking ticket.
So shout out to Dap and Jay. And that pretty much wraps it up for all of the news segments that we had here.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go ahead and get into our top 5, shall we?
Let's do it.
Number 5 is coming from none other than Panda with the Department of Homeland Security catch.
This guy was just so annoying.
Yeah, his little smug face. Go ahead and play that.
I mean, I've got your license plate right here, man. What do you think is going to come of this? But you're here to meet a child. A child. It doesn't matter who he is.
He said he was going to hook me. And I know that there's a guy on 7th Street who like, messes around with guys.
Well, that's cool.
Like what?
There was nobody. You're the only person I've been talking to, bro. You're it. Everything else was just a bullshit lie.
Right. So
That's what I do. What do I want from you? I want you to tell me what you're doing here to meet a 15-year-old and why you think it's okay. Yeah.
I was trying to keep him out of
Yeah,
trouble.
that's happening right now.
Trying to keep him out of trouble.
Over here on 8th Avenue. He's local and he's here to have sex
You know
with a
what?
15-year-old
This guy, now that I'm watching this back, because I was in the live chat, I kept saying, like, why does he keep talking about this guy that's down on 22nd Street and
Right.
8th Street? And he literally mentions, like, 3
Everywhere
different guys.
that he wasn't.
But I think that he knows he's in deep shit and he's trying to deflect to make it seem like everybody does this. That way, once his job sees this, or maybe his wife, I don't know.
Trying to get
He was trying to meet a little boy. So, yeah, at this point, Panda did not know that he was one of the highest paying Homeland Security. He was an ICE agent, right?
Yeah, $150,000 a year.
And yeah, he had no idea until after. And I mean, regardless if he was a manager at McDonald's or, you know, Homeland Security, it is still equally as bad.
Right.
But it's just like, wow.
You're going to throw away your whole career.
Your entire career.
For this.
And it's just how arrogant he is. He's not like, oh my God, like, what am I doing here?
Right. Yeah, so shout out to Panda. I know that he's working trying to get this guy further exposed and into trouble with, you know, his job.
Do you know if he got fired?
I don't know yet. I do know that Panda's working on it. And I assume he will soon.
Yeah, I have faith.
So shout out to Panda. Number 4 is coming from Courtney Elizabeth with this catch.
Yeah.
This one was sick.
This one was
absolutely...
I don't even think going into it, she knew how sick it was going to be until she started asking questions. So roll this and then we'll talk about it after.
The minor thing.
You've never touched a minor before?
No,
Because we have your mugshot. We know you served 5 years in prison.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
And you know
For
how
sexual abuse on a child.
you know how old my victim was? 9 months.
Like what?
Teenagers aren't my thing.
What? Do you see how he said that?
Wait. Your victim was 9 months old?
He's like bragging about it.
And I turned myself in.
What a noble guy.
Right. What a noble fucking guy.
Because I felt so horrible that I turned into the one thing that I hated all my life, and that was my
A
stepfather.
9-month-old?
Yes.
What did you do?
I fondled this.
Wow.
Courtney had no idea because when you're looking up somebody's record, since the child is under 18 years old, it doesn't give any identifying information.
Right, you don't know how old.
You don't know how old. And so all she knew going into this is that this guy had child sexual charges on him. She went to go contact him, and she found out it was an infant. And then the fact that he brags about it.
Right, like I'm not into teenagers.
Like it's almost like, yeah, I was here to meet a 13 or whatever, but like I'm not even into them. I'm into, you know, I'm
like
into
what?
infants.
That thinking is so distorted. It's sick.
It's so distorted. And at the end, Courtney, you know, they asked him, they said, "Are you still into infants?" And he said, no. Like, you know, I did my time and I've moved on from that. And I agree with Courtney. He has not changed. Anyone that is into infants, that's so like fucked in the mind.
Right.
That you don't just turn that off. And I think
there's no help for this guy.
There's no help. And I think he's just gotten better about hiding CP, hiding about how he goes after his victims. He has a 13-year-old daughter. God forbid he's like ever around her.
Right.
But yeah, it's really rare that someone comes out and has so much confidence and like pride in saying that they have done something with an infant. Like
that's horrible.
And I felt so bad for Courtney because the shock in her face when she heard that and just like it's horrible. So incredible.
She
job,
held her
Courtney.
composure more than I would. I'll tell you that.
She held it. I like I always say, I would literally go into that freaking restaurant, get a knife, and I'd take it to his fucking face.
It's fucking wow. So go over and show some love to Courtney on this one. I'm sure that was hard to even get through.
Right.
Wow. Okay. All right, regroup.
Regroup.
Number 3 is coming from CPP, and this guy was, people were saying he was a gang member. I don't know if we've ever gotten confirmation of that, but his tattoos, I guess, were saying perhaps he was in a local gang there in Colorado. And what's crazy is I looked up local gangs. And there's a shit ton of gangs in Colorado.
Really?
Like there's a lot of gangs. There was like 100 different gangs. I was like, whoa, like I did not expect that.
Yeah, when I picture Colorado, I just picture like
skiing and like
lakes,
just
mountains.
Have fishing.
Yeah, that's weird.
But there's a lot of transplants from like LA.
Really?
Well, I think more so maybe now because of the weed industry.
Right.
A lot of people are going out there.
I know a lot of people that have been born and raised here that moved to Colorado. Like Colorado is one of the main states that I feel like people from California are like, hey,
my friend from California is literally moving with my other friend from California that already lives there.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a big spot for Californians.
Well, shit. Because it's kind of similar to like Tahoe area.
Right.
Anyways, play this.
And I'm going to go visit them soon.
Okay, well, enjoy.
right? I'm not trying to harp on you, bro.
Well,
I'm trying
never, like, honestly, at first I thought she was 19 or whatever it was on Mocha. So.
until the third message.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
And you didn't break the law before that. You broke the law after you knew we were 14. You know what I mean? And then we asked you, because you were super careful at the beginning. We're like, what's DTF? Because you're like, we're not going to talk about that. I'll show you when I get there. We're like, what's DTF? You're like, down to fish. So you knew that you were kind of being careful on the
that's
phone.
What I thought. Right? That's what I thought Colorado was all about.
Right.
Just fishing.
Just fishing.
And
so
chilling.
I think we at least need to call somebody and let them know what you're doing.
I think is what made this catch crazy, because to me, when I was first watching it, it seemed kind of like, your average catch,
right.
A weirdo that came to meet up. But it turns once the police arrive. Am I correct?
Yes. So the police arrive right now, and he starts walking away.
He's gonna run.
See, watch.
He's gonna run.
Where you going? These are the cops. Better not run from the cops, bro. What are you doing?
He's running.
So yeah, he's running.
Okay, are we gonna watch the entire thing here?
No, but he runs away. The cops don't catch him in time, but they go and search for him, and a canine actually was let out in the area, and
they had like an entire search team going.
Yeah, ended up biting the pred, and I think this was the first time a pred had been bitten by a canine dog. And Tommy goes off chasing after him, trying to find him.
Yeah, there was a lot of I don't want to say drama, but there was a lot of uproar with this because the cameraman and Tommy, they separated. Everyone was super worried. I mean, there was just so much going on, but I think the cherry on top of all of it was the pred getting bit interested.
Yeah, and the next day, actually, I think day or two after, they had another catch, and they were talking to the cops about it, and the cops were like, yeah, he had to go to the hospital. I think he's still in the hospital.
Wait, what?
Like 2 days later, because I mean, those
Did the
bites
dog have
can
rabies?
be maybe. Anyways, but yeah, a first in pred catching history, a dog canine biting the pred.
Wow.
So pretty cool.
Great job.
Shout out to Captain and Tommy on that. And Chris, if you're listening, I will be visiting soon, so save me a bedroom. Next up, we got number 2, and this is coming from PCM. And this one, you guys, this one was what, yesterday?
You guys, this one was one of the worst that I have seen in a while. And again, we had a couple debates in our Discord. Well, there's the infant one. This one, just let's play this and then we'll kind of dissect it.
Yeah, he wanted to meet with a 11 and 7-year-old.
Mm-hmm. And he's an ordained minister.
We were playing. You couldn't bring her back here,
yes.
So what was you going to do?
I'd have killed you if you brought a child.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I would probably convince her to go on taking her back to her house. That's just where you live at. Because I would take her back to her house and tell her, hey.
Brian, you're doing quarter-million and to bring the damn iPad shit.
That's his sister yelling in the background, by the way.
It's rare that a predator will actually, agree and say what he was going to do. No, I was going to take her back to her house, then I was going to...
No, and this is why it is... Thankfully, you have people in your life who love you that want to get you help, because some people will just kick you out. You'd be on the street, they wouldn't give a fuck what you're doing.
I called the police myself if you walked in this house with a child. I promise you that.
I wouldn't have called the police. I would have just killed you.
Yeah, same.
Right.
So he wanted the little girl to run away with him. He would say really disgusting things like, you're going to be my sex slave. He wanted him to dress up all sexy. And, his sister stepped in and, props to his sister because
shout out to the sister.
She was tearing into him. And apparently, in the beginning, she said, oh, he's dyslexic. So sometimes his messages will come across as different than what they actually mean.
So she says she's 12 and he thinks it's 21.
21, exactly. So, his response is always just oh, my phone's been off, acting up. And it's funny because he even offered, he's like, hey, can I help in your organization to show that I'm, different? But then the plot thickens. So all of a sudden, Shonda says, can I look at your phone?
Mm-hmm.
And she sees, or they're talking about his friend named Brian. or Chris, sorry. Brian is the pred. So Brian starts talking about his friend Chris, who he met on an app called Fast Meet. And basically he posted this ad saying, interested in women and girls. So he meets this guy, and this guy says, hey, if you can send me pictures of girls in latex outfits and this and that. And so Shonda says, okay, so you're sending him all of these pictures. Well, what are you getting in return? And apparently this guy that he exchanges pictures with said, well, he will send me videos and photos of him having sex with his 20-year-old daughter.
Right.
His stepdaughter.
Sick.
And then they started seeing a bunch of really young girls, and apparently it was like the granddaughter, and it was just...
It was bad.
It's always, to me, it's always really bad when there's CP involved, but a lot of the times it's from like the internet that they download it, and it's just, it hits 10 times deeper when it's actually someone that
like
they
homemade,
know.
like shit.
Right, they know. Or so I want to look more into this Fast Meet app. I've never heard of it, but I think all the decoys should hop on that because it sounds like it's almost like Craigslist, where you can, like the old Craigslist, you know, like
the OG
where it's like
right,
you know, like you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, no, and I want to shout out Shonda too, because she was like, you know, you need to get help and you need to turn yourself in and you need to tell him everything you know, including everything about this John guy, on the, you know, off chance that his story is legit and he is, you know, offending his family members essentially.
Yeah, so the cops did show up.
They did.
Do we have the image of when they show up?
I'll play this here.
Give us the police department to seize your phone and to also search it.
Brian.
I
know we're going to jail, and I don't want to go to jail. You should have thought of that before you got in trouble.
He's capping.
At the time, we thought the first mate was supposed to be an innocent side, and it started off with that. But the thing is, though, Brian, the problem being is even if you weren't going to meet up with anybody or anything else, you saved a couple of those pictures, and instead of doing what I said, of getting them once you got them and going up there to that police station and turning it in, you proceeded to just save them to build evidence, you said.
Right.
Oh,
well, that was his thing.
Yes.
That was his thing, yeah.
That was his, I mean, in his eyes, he was almost like a private investigator.
Right.
Like, he was going in just to do, like, this private investigating. I mean, that's totally not at all. But he was saying, oh, well, I was just saving all of it as evidence.
All the CP alleged.
Right. But super disgusting. And honestly, if it wasn't for the Facebook, I mean, this guy was just like, I thought this was going to be number one. It just, the different amount of layers that this had, it was just so, it was so bad.
Yeah, go watch that one if you haven't seen it. And that brings us to number one.
What do you guys think it's going to be?
Come on now. None other than the Facebook exec.
None other than the Facebook exec.
And this video was close to 200,000 views last I checked. It's like at 196.
Yeah, so he came to meet a 13-year-old, and I picked apart. So when he asked if he had ever done something, because, you know, the catchers always say, so have you done this before? He said, oh, you know, absolutely not. So then Shonda proceeds to ask, do you know who John is? And someone from his past. So Shonda actually got a hold of one of his past victims and got him on the phone. And, you know, of course, the entire time he's like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. I blurred that time of my life out. I have no idea. So this is the call with John, who was assaulted by this man. And
one of his victims.
Yeah, one of his victims.
And this is rare.
It's very rare.
Go ahead.
So, just so you know, what you did ruined my childhood and my teenage years. and honestly made me feel pretty worthless and like junk. But what I really want you to know is that now I use the experience, the bad things that happened to me, to talk to kids and to relate with kids. And so even though you maybe meant it for bad, meant it for ill against me, I use it all the time to help kids that are in the same situation that I was in, and to hopefully, the only reason I'm doing this conversation is to hopefully give them courage to face the things that happened to them. Even though mine was 20 years ago, I wish so bad that I would have faced it then and not now. And so I hope that other people watching this, kids, that they will stand up to their predators and not let it ruin their life. And that's all I got to say.
Amen.
It like literally makes me emotional because will you turn that down? Not a lot of people get the opportunity to speak to somebody that has done this.
Right.
And literally just yesterday, Cup and I were driving in the car, and I was like, I want to get a hold of blank. I'm not going to say his name, and confront him, the man that screwed up my family, and he's my biological father.
Right.
And I relate to John so much because now he spends his life working with children that have been through this and trying to be, that mentor. And a lot of people say, why the hell do you two invest so much time into this community? Like, how do you have time for that? We both have full-time lives outside of this, but this has been the best therapy for me, especially with everything that I've been through, that I've ever had. So I am just so happy for PCI, PCM, John. They just handled this so beautifully, and
yeah, no, this is crazy, and I really hope that this guy is arrested.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it's funny because at one point he said, I swear on I think it's right now, I swear on my life, I do not remember who that is. He kept saying, I don't remember who John is.
John, I can barely recall church camp. It was one of
okay, so bro.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy. But he's like, I cannot. He says, I swear on my life, I swear on everything I have that I don't remember. And everything he has is now ruined. So clearly that shows that he was lying.
Yeah. So shout out to PCI and PCM.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Well deserved.
You guys have been killing it the last couple of days. And it's funny because Shonda said she was taking a break, and then she's had just that great catch yesterday. And like, I don't want her to take a break.
I know.
But she needs it. She needs it. And, she's going to be busy with some other things and still doing the catches.
They're so selfless. A lot of catchers in the community have quit their jobs and they do this full time. Well, they do this full time. They travel, but they also work full-time jobs outside of this. So they're just 3 of the most selfless people that I have, come across. And they're, what's being 1 and 2 on PNN, but they seriously deserve the world. They're so incredible.
And then our honorable mentions here. We do have a couple that we wanted to showcase. Let me see here. Anyways, the first one here is coming from ENDPRED, and this is the PhD guy.
Yeah, PhD student.
It's okay. So we established you said sexual things, and you keep trying to deny it. Just stop. You're only making it worse for yourself.
I did never say anything sexual.
How many examples we gotta show you? And the way you're acting, you're proving it.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
You should be scared because when you end up going to prison for this.
So yeah, we're gonna send you guys over to check this
go
one
watch
out.
this out. I thought this was gonna make top 5. This
Same.
was a really good catch. PhD student, go watch it.
And then the second honorable mention, this was the tweaker grandpa in Bakersfield with Alex and Pablo. When Pablo went off and wanted to show that little part because everyone was
I think
loving
Pablo
Pablo.
deserves his own award.
Yeah. The Pablo Award.
The Pablo.
What would Pablo do?
This.
This house is just filth.
And there's a minor living here.
Special needs, too.
Special needs. If you guys haven't seen this, Alex and his team went and got like all new bedding for the teenager. There was cockroaches on his bed.
Oh,
it was just,
my
it was
goodness.
horrendous. They got him food, water, snacks, everything. And the dad was just so like, what are you guys doing here?
Right.
And I think Pablo finally snaps.
My bills. We're 2 months behind on rent. Okay. Since my wife crashed her Mercedes and my car died. Yeah, we've been struggling and everything. I got 2 months behind on rent.
Excuses.
All right, I don't give a. Shut the up! Clean the house. That's all we're here for. No, shut the. I'm not playing with you. I'll clean the house. Clean the house. Yeah. So shut the up. Okay. Stupid piece.
I think everyone could feel the emotion in Pablo.
I don't think there was one single dry eye, especially coming from Pablo, who's just always kind of really chill, quiet,
right.
you know, kind of just, you know, he doesn't interfere really. He's just chilling, exactly. And he snapped, but he was the voice for the 3,000 people that were watching.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for him, for Alex, for, you know, Nate, everyone that was involved in that.
CC unit.
Yeah, CC unit, that's right. And CPS.
Thankfully. So yeah, shout out to the whole team
Go
that
watch
was
the
on
full
that
catch.
one.
Yeah, go watch the full catch.
And then we got a couple new channels we wanted to talk about here. The first one is coming from who is this here? Let's see if I can pull this up. All right, well.
This episode's just running a little late today.
I know.
It's okay.
The first one, though, is coming from JT Productions. Why is it not? It's pissing me off.
It's okay.
So JT Productions is a new team, and we got to talk to Tim,
yes,
who runs the channel, and we got he had to say a little something.
Just a short little introductory to what he's about.
Yeah, we'll play it for you guys. Hey, Tim, what's going on?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Welcome to PNN.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How's your day going so far?
Not too bad. How about you guys?
We're doing pretty good, getting ready for our show, and we wanted to touch bases with you, hear a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, so tell us about your channel.
Yeah, so basically, me and a couple of my friends started up because we know that, there can never be enough people working on this. We know that, there's, for example, like Skeeter, he's in our area, but, you can never have enough people working on something like this because, it's a pretty important cause to get behind, and we just want to do our part and try and help out as much as we can, and just even we can help one person out or, whatever we could do. We just wanted to do our best to help out the community.
Yeah, and you said you're in Michigan, right?
Yep, just south of Detroit. Yep.
Detroit. Okay, cool. Do you have any inspirations for who were you watching before this?
Definitely Staff and Skeeter was the main two for sure.
Okay.
Nice. Those are good channels to look up to.
Yeah, I saw you. One of your videos, you did the excuse me, and the guy's soul damn near left his body.
Oh yeah, yep.
Do you talk to the law enforcement in your area?
Oh yeah, yep. Every time we actually do work with two of the city police around here, two different cities. We talked to detectives, and they said whenever you got a catch or something like that, give them a call, and they'll come out and look what we have. And
nice.
It's nice that they're working with you.
Oh yeah, they're definitely helpful.
And then I know that you have some videos uploaded. Do you plan on going live at all with the catches, or are you gonna do the upload route?
I'll definitely go live. When we get like a for sure catch, I'll definitely go do some live too as well.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a really good way to build your audience. Everyone loves the live catches, so I know everyone will love that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
And then one last thing here I wanted to ask you was the name JT JT Productions, right?
Yep.
Where does that come from?
So that's my name, and then the person that I started this with. So it was just me and one of my friends, and it was our two names put together. And then now we have a couple more friends that joined on board to help out too.
Nice.
Do you think you're going to be adding any more letters to the name?
JLMB.
Oh, we might have to start adding some because we got a lot of people that want to help out now.
Well,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you'll definitely see once you get immersed in all of this how much support you'll get, and so many people want to help out. So it's awesome that you're rounding the troops of all your friends, getting them all involved, and we're super happy to have you in the community.
Yeah, welcome. Is there anything else you want to say?
Not that I could think of right off, no.
All right. Well, if you ever have anything you want us to get out there for you, definitely let us know, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yes.
All right. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, guys.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Yep. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, so that was JT, Tim with JT Productions, new group out of Michigan. We'll drop the link for you guys. Go over there and sub. They got like 5 or 6 videos up on their channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to be doing pretty well.
Absolutely.
And then the other channel we wanted to shout out was SMASHLEY. She's a decoy, and she's doing decoy work for CPP. So if you're into the decoy calls, definitely go check her out. We will drop the link as well.
Yes. And with that...
No, one last thing.
Oh.
One last thing here is our weekly charity that we have if you guys want to get involved. And this week is coming from, it's called Male Survivor. And
I think this is so important. Can I just step in really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I was watching the Survivor stream with Just Jules and Variety, and they had somebody on, I want to say his name was Bryden. And he just told his story, and the things that stuck out, and I know because my brother also went through it, is that men do not get the same love and support, and they don't feel as comfortable about coming out about their sexual abuse and what they've been through, because you're raised to be you're a strong man,
right?
Yeah, you don't talk about your feelings. Well, we think it's important that you do. So we have found this.
Yeah, we wanted to highlight the male survivors of the community. And also we got a comment on one of our videos where someone had said that they're 50 years old, and they just had recalled them being abused when they were 4, and they remember all these details. And we've talked about it before that, it takes quite a while for some people to even tell their story.
Right.
And in this case, remember the story. And they were curious, like, what they can do now. And even if you can't prosecute criminally, there are places for you to get, find peace,
Yes, talk about it and feel safe.
Exactly. So this is a perfect spot where men join together to overcome sexual trauma. It says thousands are already taking part in honest, moderated discussions on a variety of topics relating to healing and getting the most out of life. So I just wanted to highlight this for all the male survivors in the community, because you also have a spot.
You are absolutely just as important as all the females in here, and your story is just as important as every single one of ours. So
100%. So we'll link this below. Spread it out. Let your friends and family know that there's a spot.
Is this in our Discord?
I will be adding it to the
it.
Discord for sure.
Good.
And with that wraps us up.
Wow, guys, this was a long one, so thank you for all hanging out with us. We love you guys. We hope you have a great week.
And we will see you next Sunday.
Yes, we will.
Let's get some purple hearts.
Drop them.
We'll see you guys. Peace.
Bye.